Welcome to Sarah Q's unofficial guide to the 90s. Up first, TV programmes. This was legendary on a Saturday night. You had your gladiators with the manga and contenders ready. We had Nickelodeon, we had Noel's House, part of MTV. Nightmare, which was legendary. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Johnny and Denise were doing the Big Breakfast. Richard O'Brien was on the Crystal Maze. You had Sweet Valley Eye. You had Live and Kicking. You had California Dreams. And of course, Saved by the Bell. The payphone. More commonly seen these days like this. Payphones were a necessity for teens in the 90s if you wanted secret convos with your mates, or if you wanted to prank call the free sex line as it was back then, with questions like, my boyfriend's asked for a blowjob, what is it? I've got it on good authority also that you could actually put your hand in the little money catcher bit, pull the tray out and the money had come out. Of course, never done it myself. We've all got Wi-Fi and all that now, but back in the day, if you wanted the internet, which come in the 90s, you had to unplug your phone and put another lead in just to get online. We didn't have Spotify in the 90s, so if you wanted music, you either had to save up your pocket money and go down Woolies or Our Price, or you'd have to record it off the radio onto a tape cassette. Yeah, we had tape cassettes in the 90s. And then, my friends, this happened. We got MTV, we had Beavis and Butthead and all that sort of stuff. If you had a special request, we had the box. You'd phone up, you'd get charged a fortune on your landline, and they play your song for you. They also had an adult version of that late at night, which normally involved some woman butt naked singing a song that was absolute rubbish, but it was funny to watch as a kid. Do's in the 90s. I sported the perm for many years, I'm not afraid to admit it, but we did have some cool styles. We had Jennifer Aniston in Friends, Kid and Play, and the amazing, always cool Gwen Stefani. There were loads of trends at school. You'd have the boys with the curtains. You'd have the boys that would have the gel in the curtains, but they didn't all look like Peter Andre. This was more like it. Sorry, lads. We had some proper good fashion, or not so good fashion in the 90s. The global hypercolour t-shirt was a big one. I never had one, but I always wanted one. Your spliffy coat jackets, always found in the markets, especially in Gravesend. And then these, which I actually owned, was the trousers with the skirt over the top. For no reason other than we thought it looked cool. Everyone started collecting glass dummies. My mate Bentley used to collect them. And then you had the 3 Ks of the 90s fashion. Your Kickers, your Kangol and your Kappa. Magazines were massive in the 90s, one of which even had a sexual position of the fortnight. We had Bamboozle, which was a big thing in our household. Before streaming or downloading, if you wanted to watch a film, you'd head to your Blockbuster and make a night of it. You knew you'd made it if on your birthday you had a trip to the cinema, and if you were lucky enough you'd get the double whammy. Yes, the Mackie D's birthday party. Special shout out to the Mad Dog 2020 crew. You had your trolls, you had your pogs, your Tamagotchis, them Furby things, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and roller skates. And also, when we got into the gaming bit, we had the Nintendo SNES and the Sega Mega Drive. You could spot the fairly well-off parents because every one of them was sporting a Ford Mondeo. We had some proper good movies in the 90s. Wayne's World, Pretty Woman, Titanic, Goodfellas, Forrest Gump, Boys in the Hood, The Matrix of course, Nightmare Before Christmas, The Lion King, The Craft, Silence of the Lambs, Jurassic Park, Mrs. Doubtfire, Reservoir Dogs, Clueless, Fight Club, Independence Day, and I've seen this one 5 times at the cinema, My Girl. Music in the 90s was very diverse. It was amazing. We had your dance, we had your rap, your grunge, your indie, your rock, your cheesy pop, your country, everything you can imagine. It was mint. And there we have it, folks. The Sarah Q quick guide to the 90s. If I've left anything out or something's wrong, I do apologise. This is literally how I remember the 90s. Enjoy, stay safe, love to you all. Bye.